The Union address, and it comes on the eve of his likely acquittal in the impeachment trial in the Senate. Senator Tim Scott, Congressman Debbie Dingell, and Congressman John Ratcliffe will all weigh in tonight on a big night here in Washington. So first, we're going to talk about Iowa with Marc Thiessen, AEI, she said, scholar, and Donna Brazil, former DNC chair. Both are Fox News contributors. Wonderful to have both of you with us. Boy, here we are, back from Iowa after a heck of a night, Donna.
A long night. And a long day.
So talk to me a little bit about what's going on at the DNC and how everybody's feeling about these numbers as they come out, and whether or not you think Pete Buttigieg is indeed victorious here.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate him. Look, for a first-time candidate to go and to work the caucuses the way he did, amazing. Also, Senator Sanders, Senator Warren, I'm still tired. But I thought it was an amazing night, despite the fact that we had that huge problem. Amazing because I saw Democrats on the ground. You were out there, energized. They were very enthusiastic. Watching the caucuses unfold, unfortunately, because of the glitch in the evening, we couldn't get the results last night. But today, I believe that the party is getting back on its feet. Right.
Well, Donna, let me ask you a couple questions about that, because it looks like the turnout was around 2016 levels, nowhere near what was seen in 2008. Here's just one sentence from an editorial today. In other words, Democrats were counting on Barack Obama levels of enthusiasm, and they got Hillary Clinton numbers instead. What do you say?
Well, look, Hillary Clinton got the popular vote. Barack Obama got the popular vote. No, I was surprised, too, that we didn't hit 200,000. But you know what? The numbers are still coming in, Martha. So I don't want to put too much of an emphasis on the turnout until we get all of the real numbers. On the Republican side, only 32,000 people caucused.
It's an uncontested caucus.
The president had two opponents. He flew in lots of circuits. No, the point I'm making is that we're looking at turnout 175. Well, it doesn't meet the 200,000.
I mean, overall, but the question is there enthusiasm for these candidates? I mean, that's what we don't know the answer yet to, Marc. As you look at all of this, and I thought it was interesting that Pete Buttigieg did well with voters aged 45 to 65. And when I look at some of the counties that he won, a number of them are the counties that were won by President Obama twice and then by Donald Trump. And he spent a lot of time in those places and, you know, deserves credit for doing well in them.
Absolutely, he does. And look, two things. One, on the turnout, it was a very low turnout. It was not. There's an enthusiasm gap right now, and it's partly because of impeachment. The president's base right now, if you look at the Wall Street Journal poll, highest level of strong support he's ever had in that poll. The Republican base is hugely energized to go out and vote for Donald Trump, and because they're about to lose the impeachment fight that they've spent 3 years trying to get to this moment, and they're now losing, their enthusiasm is dissipated. So I think that we saw that in Iowa. Now, however, the good news for Democrats is that it was a really good night for the moderate lane in Iowa, because number one, Joe Biden was found to be unviable, in the words of the Iowa caucuses, and he's dropped out, which opens up the lane for a more electable candidate. He's dropping down.
Yeah, he's not dropped out.
I don't mean
dropped out of the race. I just want to make it clear. We're not saying
dropped out of the race, but he's dropped to 4th and possibly 5th. You know, Amy Klobuchar could overtake him. That opens up the lane for Pete Buttigieg, for Bloomberg maybe, for Klobuchar, for a lot of moderates. Second reason it was good for them is because Warren came in 3rd. Remember, we talked last night. I said the Democratic establishment wants Elizabeth Warren to come in 3rd because they want to keep that. She's like an anchor hanging on to Bernie Sanders. If their combined vote, if she wasn't in the race and Bernie had those votes, he would have blown away Pete Buttigieg. He would have blown away the whole field. He'll do it in every state if he doesn't have her in there. So the fact that she did well, exceeded expectations, is really good for the moderate lane as well.
Talk to me about Joe Biden, Donna, because there's a lot of, I was just watching some of the other networks as I was getting ready for the show tonight. David Axelrod saying that Biden is fighting for his life. He never gets out of Iowa. He's always had a hard time in Iowa.
That's true.
You know, if you're Joe Biden tonight, how are you feeling as you look ahead to New Hampshire and South Carolina, where at this point, if he doesn't do well, that he may be done?
Look, I mean, we have really a large field of candidates still in this race. I would hope that at some point we can winnow it down just a little bit more. But Joe Biden, we knew, I think many of us knew going into yesterday, that Biden really is not the candidate for Iowans. He's not their demographic. So I wasn't surprised that he came in 4th place or even 5th place once we get the rest of the numbers. The proof in the pudding is, as you well know, Nevada, South Carolina. That's more Biden territory than Iowa, New Hampshire.
And this is.
So now I just want to mention that, you know, also tonight, Elizabeth Warren pulled ads out of Nevada and South Carolina. So she obviously wants to do well in New Hampshire.
Yep.
If she could surprise in New Hampshire, that would be a big story for her because it's Bernie Sanders' next door neighbor in Vermont. And it's become a lot more Vermontish lately, New Hampshire.
No, that's exactly why the establishment wants to keep her in the race. So if you think about it, if you look at the upcoming votes, if Warren were not in the race, assuming many of her voters would go to Bernie Sanders, in New Hampshire their combined vote is 41%. In Nevada their combined vote is 34%. In California their combined vote is 46%. In Texas it's 32%, and even in South Carolina, which is Biden's blue wall, they're at 28%. He's only at 31%. So as long as Elizabeth Warren is in the race, she is like a brake pulling back on Bernie Sanders. The establishment wants to keep her alive as long as they can.
I got to go, but I want to just very quickly to each of you, who is the candidate that will give Donald Trump the toughest run for his money, Donna?
That's still an unknown. I mean, we got at least 3 candidates. I don't like to predict anything. We only have one state, one day. All
right, who's the toughest candidate for Trump right now?
I think he runs well against all of them in different ways. I think he would really pummel Joe Biden because Biden is old and fragile and not up to the fight. Buttigieg is inexperienced and he's got a left-wing record, even though he's running as a centrist.
You don't think anybody can give him a run for his money?
I think it's going to be a close election no matter what. But I think that Trump, look, having survived impeachment, with the economy going the way it is.
All right. Ask analysts to give you one name, and you're going to be here all night.
And just remember 2018. This is the year of the suburban woman. This is the year of the woman again.
Yay.
Yeah.
I speak for them. Thank you very much. Good to see you both tonight. So Senator Tim Scott here.